What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I just left the gym. I've decided, I think, to not include a lot of workout content in my vlogs just because it kind of sort of takes up a lot of time in the vlogs, and I was just showing that to kind of show you guys that I'm still getting to the gym, and it takes a lot of work and effort, but you guys already know that. So instead, I'll just film myself as I come out of the gym, as I head to my car. I'm gonna head to the bowling alley now for practice, and the plan for today is going to be to work on my release consistency. I think I found a potential way to do that, and I'm gonna find out if it works. See you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I'm all warmed up. I already did my drills and everything. The plan for today's practice is going to simply be standing in a certain spot and working on a specific release. So, for example, stand way to the right, roll the ball forward, and then make an adjustment with my feet and attempt to keep that same style of release without changing anything. And I'm actually going to work my way across the entire lane as I do this. So I'm going to start all the way to the right with a specific release, make some adjustments, trying to basically act as if I was adjusting to how the lane conditions are changing in a tournament, and then keep that same release, and then keep adjusting left and keep that same release and work across the entire lane. And then once I do that with like a forward release, I'm going to move back to the right and do it with more rotation, and then all the way across the lane again, and then move back to the right, and then even more rotation. I think that might help me a little bit, just to try and maintain the same style release when everything else is changing. Let's see how it works out. Well, there's game number one. Not bad. I was really focusing on more of a 12 to 11 o'clock style release with my hand, getting that ball to roll pretty forward. And I was fairly successful with it. The outside line, I was pretty good. I started struggling a little bit when I got more towards just left of second arrow. I was actually trying to get the ball to the same break point down lane while maintaining the same release, as I moved my feet left. So I kind of struggled there, just left the second arrow, and then I kind of caught my rhythm and got going again. If you guys notice, I'm throwing pretty slow today just because I'm trying to focus on something. I'm not trying to go full speed. I'm really just trying to laser focus on my release right now. So I want to move back to the right, and we're going to move to more of like a 10 o'clock position with my fingers at the bottom and get that ball rotating sideways a little bit, and we'll follow it all the way across the lane. Okay, so there's game number two. So that time I was practicing, 10 o'clock release, which is more of my comfort release zone. And I did a lot better in my opinion until I got to that same zone of where I was the first game, which was, just left of second arrow. And then I started struggling a little bit and had to kind of slow everything down and really focus in on that. So either way, I'm still happy with it. 10 o'clock is my natural release position, so theoretically it should be easier for me to maintain that as I move across the lane. So now we're going to move on to as much rotation as I can muster, which we're going to try for 9 o'clock. Who knows if I'll actually get it. I think the most rotation I've ever put on a ball is right around 55 degrees, 60 degrees, which, you're looking at like 9:30-ish, something like that. So we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, so there's game number 3 with basically the strongest release that I can create. You know, it wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible. I did struggle quite a bit once I had to start moving, you know, more than about 6 boards left. For some reason, I just couldn't maintain the same around the side rotation. Now, I don't often use that style of release, so that's more than likely why there's some inconsistency there. But anyway, it's still a good way to practice this, I think. What I've been doing is just making micro adjustments, more or less, like 2-in-1s. I'll start in an area, 2-in-1 left, throw a shot. If I hit it like I want to, I'll 2-in-1 left. If I miss it, I'll maintain that same line until I hit what I'm trying to do. So overall, I think it's a good way to practice this. I feel good about it. I definitely need to work on my forward release a lot more and that maximum release a lot more, because it's those two specifically that I struggle the most with. So I've actually spent 4 games on just that. It took me actually that long to switch between a forward release, you know, a 10 o'clock release, and then my maximum release, and work my way across the whole lane. I was hoping to get each release combined into just one game, but the first one was good, and then the next 2 releases actually took me quite a bit longer. So we're now in it 4 games. So I'm going to move on to spare practice, and then I think I'm going to finish up with working on ball speed. Okay, so spare practice actually went really good. I was very consistent, and I'm actually starting to remember now my new lineup for my spares, which if you remember back on, I think it was Tuesday, I had to adjust those because, you know, I've been working on that forward release for shooting spares, and I've gotten it to the point where it's really good, so I had to tighten everything up. So now we're going to move on to working on ball speed. And for me, ball speed is probably going to come down to how fast my approach is. So I'm going to work on increasing my foot speed, and of course, in order to get faster, you not only have to increase your foot speed, but also your swing speed, and everything else kind of goes with it. You can't swing slow and move fast, it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is start with what I would think would be a normal shot for me in a normal speed, and then I'm going to kind of dial it up just a little bit at a time until I start seeing some improvements with my ball speed. Not worrying about releases or anything else, just my approach to the line, my speed to the line, combined with, you know, allowing the ball to swing faster. So. Okay, that's definitely something I need to work more on. You know, my normal pace, I'm usually pretty consistent at, but trying to speed up, what I end up usually doing is tugging a lot because my swing isn't quite synced up with how fast I'm moving to the foul line. So as I started doing it a little bit more and more, it felt a little bit more natural. So I just need to work on that as a focus practice as well, you know, speeding up, slowing down, because that plays in to being successful on the lanes, especially at the PBA level. You can't just all the time throw it hard, throw it fast with a lot of revs and expect to do good. You know, sometimes you have to dial it back. So being good at all of that is very important. Well guys, that's it for day 4 of practice this week. Overall, we are, let's see here, I think 32 games in this week. I took one day off yesterday just to let my ankle relax a little bit, but overall I'm starting to feel pretty good about my practices. I'm getting more consistent at how I throw the ball. And that's really the most important thing for you guys to remember is, yeah, there's little tiny things you can do to get better and improve your game, but always remember, as long as you do everything consistent, that's really the biggest key to being good in this particular sport. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment below. Keep in mind the Patreon memberships, and also I do have channel memberships available for you guys, and hopefully before much too longer here, like next week, I'll be getting my samples in the mail and I'll be able to open up my merchandise store. I'll see you guys in the next vlog.